Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I am determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. For our Dharma lesson, we're reading Ajahn Munindo's book, Unexpected Freedom, and we're continuing in a chapter on anger, meeting our anger, with a section called Believing in Anger. Another aspect of wisely reflecting on our anger is to consider whether it is really the case, as we can believe when we are fired up, that following such a passion will make things better. One evening after giving a talk on anger at the monastery, somebody asked the question, how can I let go of anger when it feels so good to follow it? They said, I just love having a go at one particular person who I think is really stupid. I didn't know what to reply to them. If we are convinced that it's good to indulge in aggression, then there is little that we can change. However, if we are committed to meditation practice and have some access to the peaceful heart, we can know how beautiful a heart free from anger is. It is because we don't know about this possibility that we become caught up. From the perspective of identifying with our bodily senses, we experience the passions as who and what we are. On that level, it can feel good to feel this power of anger. When we get passionately righteous and indignant, our rage feels so energizing. Our sense of self is potentized, and this leads us to conclude that anger is good. We believe that we are going to get something out of following it. So long as we haven't deeply investigated this aspect of ourselves, we can be fooled into thinking that acting out our anger is somehow going to benefit us. Sitting here now talking about it, it sounds crazy, doesn't it? But this is what happens. This is why people commit the most awful atrocities that, from the perspective of those of us who have never been in a war situation, are utterly incomprehensible. If we were not there in the former Yugoslavia a few years ago, or in Rwanda before that, or who knows where next, and we hear of all the slaughter, the rape and torture, the unbelievable horror, it's very difficult to take any of it in and make sense of it. However, the reality of such atrocities becomes at least conceivable if we have inquired into our own experience of getting caught up in passion to the point that that passion possesses us. We can see how, when this happens, when we become possessed by hatred, when we allow ourselves to be convinced that acting out this hatred will solve the problem, how then we are capable of absolutely anything. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.